Well, hello everybody. I have to make apologies for last week. I was doing the typical Vince thing and sound asleep, actually. I woke up at 9 o'clock and went, oh, crap, it's a Saturday and I missed it. The joys of being sort of unemployed / self-employed type situation. Hello, Mark, mate. How are you?
Oh, very good, mate. Very good. Good to be back. Good to see you. Hello to everyone. Hello to the two people we might have watching.
Yep. Well, speaking of which, I should probably go to the chat section and make sure I see what they're commenting about. That would be a good idea, wouldn't it?
Yeah, apologies we missed last week too, guys. I'm much too nice of a guy to wake Vince up when I know that he's going to be asleep. I was like, I'm pretty sure he's asleep. I'm not going to call him. I'm not going to message him. I'm just going to let him get the rest that he needs.
I've got a cat fight happening just outside. Very wonderful, right? So yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. When my body says sleep, I sleep. So that's what was going on. Mark, I'm going to hand it over to you for 2 seconds to talk while I go and scare a couple of cats.
He's got to go and sort out a cat fight. I wish he could turn the camera around. That could be an interesting little session to watch. Hello, everybody. We've got King Duck 82. We've got Peter Grace McGuide, Peg's Place, Donna Kilgour, Mr. Bill. Hello to everyone. Thanks for joining us on a Saturday night at 8 o'clock. We're a little bit early. I'm going to maybe have a chat to Vince, and we might be starting possibly a little bit earlier because that might work a bit better for everybody from now on as well. Not too early, but just a little bit earlier.
We changed it because your missus was going to kill me. Now she's going to kill me for being too late. I really can't win.
And then lately, now she's been going. Now she's like, oh, now I think you're just a little bit too late because I've got to get to bed so early because she starts at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So I'm like, all right, we've got to sort out this perfect time that it just slips in perfectly into our lives. But we'll figure it out. It shouldn't be too bad. And Vince might have a treat for you all, possibly that he's asked me to do the show by myself next week. So
there's a reason for that, guys. Due to the fact that cost of living is going up in bits and pieces, and my son, was in Adelaide renting up there, has decided finally that it's cheaper to live at home. So he's coming back, which means next Saturday I'm shifting him. All right, so car and trailer in tow. So I doubt I will be back in time for the show. So I just asked Mark, would he be prepared to do the show by himself, which means that we need to educate him on how to use StreamYard and give him the passwords and all that sort of stuff. So we've got a bit of training to do this week. But Mark's going to do the show by himself. That's right. And then I'm going to come home and watch it. I'm going to come home and watch it, and then, like in good Carl type thing, I'm going to then educate him on what he did wrong, like Carl tries to educate me and fails. But yeah, no, only kidding. So yes, so very well. Next week, Mark might be doing the show by himself. But family comes first, Donna. You're right on that one, 100%. We've got interesting things happening in the market at the moment. The market seems to be fairly depressed. We've seen a lot of drop in crypto and various bits and pieces. Now, I'm sure Mark's got some bits and pieces to put on the system. That's interesting. Of course, now I'll just have to refresh this because the page went nuts. Firstly, are people aware of the fear and greed index? Right, this is what basically where the market's talking about. People are fearful in buying crypto, or they're greedy in buying crypto. And most times when people are greedy is when you should be fearful. And when people are fearful is when you should be thinking, maybe it's time to invest. But at the moment, the current fear and greed index looks like this. And we'll go to full screen. this is what it looks like at the moment. And this is going back from July 2023, which we can see there. All right, and goes, hopefully you guys are in full screen so that you can see this. And it's going all the way through here. So you can see where we had a fairly strong where people were buying over in 24, and then again here in October of 24. But notice that it's never really got above this area to extreme greed since, right? But we have been in some fairly extreme fearful spots. But notice where it is right now, right? 34%, as you can see over here. Extreme or fear. People are in fear. Mark, what do you think about this?
Oh, it's definitely down. That's for sure. 34%. Where that's a buying opportunity for your favorite coin that is probably seeing a dip right now, I'd say. But it could, looking at that too, why couldn't it extend down into what's red? Extreme fear. Jeez, yeah, extreme fear is probably like that starts to get a little bit scary for everybody, but those of us who've been in the market for a while will handle it. But it gets extreme fear. Yeah, I wonder what that event is. What time is that? What date's that? April, January 25. What happened around there to cause the market to go into extreme fear? That's interesting.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I'd say, 34% now. It's a good time to buy. What can you think of anything, Vince, that was around there? I'm trying to think of anything that was. What happened in the market that sent us into extreme fear back then that everyone was going to lose their money? Anyway, who knows? We can't sit here and ponder all night, can we?
No. Obviously, that went straight past us. We don't remember it. So
isn't that funny that it hit that and where like it must have been a blink on the radar kind of thing. So that just shows people that that we're doing well when it comes to our market psychology.
All right, so that's the current. Oh, it was. I've been floating around in pages there, but there we are. There's that current view of the market today, all pretty much in red. Ignore that. Well, that one is interesting. I'm not sure even what that one is. That's new.
That's only up 2%.
The top 100. But as you can see, most of them, other than those that are sitting there as stable coins, are going down in the red. So a few plasma, that one's going up. So you can still get coins that are going up, but the big ones that you're wanting to look at are things like Stellar, right? Solana, XRP. You can see XRP now, 278 US. Isn't that probably a pretty reasonable buying spot for XRP if you're an XRP follower?
Oh,
which market I know you are.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's bottom of the range at the moment, the very bottom of the range. So we've been ranging from, where are we? We've been ranging from $3.66 high down to your $2.70 where it's at now.
Yeah, actually, I have an XRP chart there. XRP is Ripple or XRP red. Ripple is a private section. XRP is the public, just to answer your question. So we can't see what Ripple's actually doing. Not here anyway, not through this. I can give you an XRP chart. There we go. So that is XRP. What it's done since basically the 24th of January 22.
Pumped.
So you can see that. So the absolute high is there. $3.65. All right, and now currently back down here somewhere at 276 or 277, 276.
Yeah.
So that gives you a bit of a chance about that. Now, in the questions that we started this morning, I said, is the bull market over? That's a really good question. Secondly, where should you be investing your money right now? All right. Where do you think you should be investing money, Mark?
Probably crypto market for me. If I had it, I've been trying to find. Yeah, even like looking at my bank account, going, well, can I afford something? Just something, anything.
Okay, question for you. Why, as a working person, are you saying, can I afford to buy any crypto? Why?
That's a brilliant question. We could ponder. We could sit here for a while talking about that one. Why? Because at the moment, I was even thinking this the other day. Why haven't I just completely gone? Why didn't I just go completely get paid, put all my money into crypto, and just use my crypto credit card to just pay for all my bills off my crypto credit card? Would have worked perfectly. Could still do it. There's no reason why I couldn't do that. The only reason I'm not just spending every last dollar I have is because my bills have to come out of my bank account. And I'm hopeless, and I always forget about something that's going to come out of my bank account. So I don't want it to ping and give me nothing. And then I got to get fined or something like that for not paying my bill on time or something like that. But
yeah, so
that's the only reason. Other than that, yeah. Sorry.
So if I get this correct, what you're really saying is that the cost of living has risen so far. Now you're struggling to survive off what you earn as an income.
Yeah. That's yeah. In the very perfect words for Vince, that's I said it this long and you said it this long, which is really good.
Right. We'll just call that the 20 years more experience I have. Okay. Just leave it at that. All right. But so that raises the question. You say crypto, right? But crypto swings pretty violently. And as long as you've got the time to spend going out, and you've got a lot longer time frame than I probably have, yes, there is money to be made in it. But where would you put your money to be secure with what's happening with the current governments and the digital ID and the the ability to spend and to track? And we know that.
Precious metals. I think we're getting into precious metals. We've got to talk silver and gold, right?
Right. Okay. It's not that we teed this up earlier, but
I think it's got to be precious metal. I'd just be so like we're going to see. Oh, wouldn't it be scary buying some of the precious metals at the moment, hoping that it's not just going to go down because you're like, oh my God, look at the price of this stuff at the moment. It's doing very well.
Here we go. Precious metals, silver. Now, this was actually quite shocking when I brought this up. I'll just put it up on full screen for you guys so you can get rid of our ugly mugs. This is the silver chart, right? And this is done on a monthly basis. So you can see that I have the silver chart going right back down here, right, to 1948. And I can actually go back even further, back to 1802. Right, and this is the price of silver going back each of those days. You'll notice that around this period here, Tuesday the 1st of January in 1980, silver hit a peak of, and this is in American dollars, please remember, people, around, if I can get it, around 51 cents. And then it dropped back off as it was being, as many people like to say, manipulated.
51 cents?
I believe so. Let's see if we can zoom in on that.
Is it cents or dollars? Was it?
Oh, sorry, $51. My bad. What did I say? Cents? Yeah. Got me.
Sorry.
No, you're right, mate.
No, I was going to say, because Jesus, we've had a pretty good run since then if we've come up from 50 cents.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it there.
Wow.
$48.62 was where it hit. All right. And I thought, wow, that's the peak of the market. But in fact, it's not. We see, and we drop back down through there and we follow it through. This is where silver last peaked. $51.95. And that was back in February the 1st. Oh, April Fool's Day. How do you like that? February the 1st of 11, right? So maybe somebody was doing an April Fool's joke. Anyway, no, sorry. Just kidding that. Then we've got this. Now, for all of those who are interested, this blue line that I'm showing on here is, in fact, the absolute top of the market that we have recorded to date. Notice this. This is where we are currently in the month to now, right, by month. We are not quite at the top of the market yet, according to that. Right, in American dollars. Please remember, this is American dollars, not Australian dollars. All right, now if I change that to a daily chart, that will give you a bit better view. And I expand it out like that. That's where we are at the moment. So following that trend line that you see I have there, that's going up, that's that yellow line. If you follow that trend line, according to this chart, if it continues, around about May, in the middle of May there somewhere, is when it's going to once again be bouncing against that all-time high. Okay, so is silver got a way to go yet? I would suggest so. And also look at how it's climbing. It's going much more parallel. It's going much quicker at the moment than it has, other than this shot just here. Right, it's back up in a fairly good climb. So, is silver something that you should buy from what you've just seen there?
Right now, looking at that chart, right now, I'd say wait.
You'd say wait. Interesting.
Yeah, bring the chart back up, and I'll tell you why I'd say wait. Because I think you're going to get a better buying opportunity. So we've got three peaks on the touching that yellow trend line.
Yep.
And each time it touches that trend line, and then we have a retracement.
Right. Good point. Good point. So we've got it there. We've got it here. Came back up, didn't even get to the trend line, came back down. And now we've got it here. Now let's just jump to the 12-hour chart. I'm on a basic plan here, guys, so I no longer afford the appropriate one. So just give me half a second and let's see if I can get this to behave itself. I do like TradingView. It has. Well done. That was not what I was after.
It never does what you want it to do.
I do like the TradingView platform, and I'd love it if they'd sponsor us, but unfortunately, they won't, but because we're only a small channel. But they do their charts, the way they chart, the ability when you do have a paid plan, really good. I really must admit, but unfortunately, I couldn't continue because I suffer from the same thing Mark does. It's called cost of living. So, but anyway, so here we are. So this is in the, let's see, 12-hour chart. Oh, come on, please. Okay. I'll have to do that another way. Before I come back to that, I'll show you this. This is the BT. I don't want to lose this chart, but I wanted to show you this. This is BTC. And what I'm showing in this chart here is the growth of the bull market from 2018 through to when it hit again in November 2021. Now, note that that's 4-year cycle, effectively. That was November to November. All right, that's a 4-year cycle. So we're about to come into November again in the next 4-year cycle. But has it by chance, has the bull market finished early? That's a really good question, one that many people are debating. But anyway, getting back to it, the growth here was 238% between that period there in 2018 and this period here in 2022. Right now, as you see there, if I put my cursor across that, you can see I've matched up from where the top of the peak was for 2022 to now. And if you look at our growth over this period is only 78%. Does that tell us something that's going on in the crypto markets? Are we seeing less growth now because crypto is becoming more normalized and more stable, and therefore we're not seeing as big a growth? But I just thought that that was interesting. And of course, we haven't hit November yet, so that's around here somewhere. So we're not even there yet. But we might not get there yet either.
I heard a very interesting theory that touches on exactly what you're talking about, and it goes into how people are thinking about the 2026, including 2026 in this cycle. I will find a clip for a show, or maybe if you end up having something lots to say, I might be able to have a look and see if I can find it later in the show. Otherwise, I'll bring it up late. I'll find it and bring it to you guys next week. But
that'll give him something to try and
Sorry?
I said that'll give you something to try and fill out an hour with.
Yeah.
We don't get bounce off each other. So
exactly. So there's Raoul Paul. If people know that guy, he's putting out a theory in conjunction with a lot of other guys, using a business cycle where they're not just speculating. They're using a well-known business cycle that's a 5-year cycle. And they're now saying that it seems like cryptocurrency could be mirroring the 5-year business cycle, meaning that we'll see the bull run push on into 2026, which would possibly would coincide with that graph that you had before, or the chart you had before, which at 80% growth in Bitcoin, I'd expect to see a little bit more than that. So the last run was 230%. Why not see more growth into 2026? I think that's what we'll see. But yeah, that silver chart, the silver chart you had on before. Yeah. So we haven't quite touched the trend line yet, but when we touch that trend line, we might not even get there, but I'd assume we will. I'd expect to see that we'll touch it. This could even be a point where where we push through that trend line.
I've only got one tab open, guys. Come on. That's it. That's one tab, and it's still saying that. Really?
Once it's got your number, it's got your number. But yeah, so this could be a case of where we keep tapping the trend line and we get rejected, in which case you'll see a retracement in giving you a really nice buying opportunity, as opposed to now where we're close to an all-time high. Or if you see the price push above that trend line and then start to follow that trend line and retrace back on top of the yellow line rather than under the yellow line, then you'll find that it's using that as support, not resistance. Yeah. And that's where you could see silver blast off, where you could be going, Mark, I should have bought then, you clown. You told me to wait. Where
we should say, we do not give financial advice.
Yeah, we do not give financial
advice. There's our disclaimer.
Yeah, for me, if I was buying silver right now, I'd just be waiting to see what happened, because and you might get a really good buying opportunity, or you might pay an extra $1 an ounce or something, which is kind of not that much probably in the grand scheme of things, unless you've got millions of dollars that you're spending.
Yeah, well, you can see here we have a 50-day and 100-day EMA, which is the estimated moving average, right? So that's the 50-day, and we can see that it's definitely running above those lines. Now, I'd love to put in the other chart that gives us our buying stuff down here, but because I don't have a pay plan, I can't do that. I miss all those tools I used to use. It's painful. But generally speaking, that shows that. I'm going to do this now and then try this and see if I can get it to behave itself.
Yeah, good old refresh sometimes works well. Mine freezes. Mine just freezes up on me all the time, and I've got to reload all my pages. And I'm just lucky that it auto saves things.
Yeah. So we'll go back to silver. There we go. Now let's see if it'll let me do an 8-hour chart. No, come on. Really?
That's insane.
I had to probably close the browser down completely. I'm not going to do that. But yeah, so that's very interesting to see that. Some of the others, as we said, there's like XRP. That's XRP.
Which, yeah, as you can see there, it's at the bottom of its range for the last 6 months. It's still quite high compared to what it was 6 months ago, or sorry, a year ago. But for the last, what is it, 3 months? Sorry, I shouldn't say 6 months.
Yeah, let's just do this. Let's do a bit of a trending line so we can see that it touches there, and there. And we've got a top there. So that makes that basically about there.
Yeah, if we go much lower.
Sorry?
If it goes much lower, then you're going to start breaking that formation. And then you're going to start seeing $2, around like $2.20 come into play.
Yeah, down here. Could go down as low as the next range, which would be, I would suggest, about there. So let's just do that.
So, yeah,
right, so these are just range areas.
Yeah. These are
now.
These are all, if this happens and we go there, then this is valid. And if this happens and we go there, then this is valid.
Yeah. So if we just zoom that up this way a bit and bring that in. Right, that's what you want.
Yeah, I don't expect to see us go down too much lower from here. I think, unless they're really going to start playing silly buggers and manipulate things. But
yeah, so effectively, if it crosses this line, it could do that and then shoot up. Or, depending on what the rest of the market is, we might see this, which would bring in a really good opportunity to start buying anywhere. I'd say let's do, can I do a little box thing here somewhere?
Or if you guys get anywhere near $2, you buy as much as you can XRP. That's what I'd say. No financial advice, but that's what I would be doing if I had extra money on the side.
Yeah, which I haven't got the ability to do a box. I probably
have. That's $2 US too, remember, guys. So it's probably like, what's that? $3.
So you're saying that anywhere in this area, if it hit there, you would expect that that's where you'd be looking at buying?
Yeah, and that's perfect. Your purple box is exactly the same as one of the guys I was learning from, trying to learn how to do this. One of the professional traders, that's exactly how they plan their charts out. They draw a little blue box which is in a range in itself, and they say, this is where I'm buying and this is where I'm selling. But yeah, if you see prices down there, guys, if you've got the money and you can do it, definitely have a look at it. I would be. Because after that, we're in trouble.
Yeah. Well, it's funny to see all the freedom orientated people eating up all the ISO 20022 assets, totally centralized and controlled. The irony. Yes, I have it too, but I know what it is. Right, valid point. Yes, that's a valid point, Mr. Bill.
Yeah, it is valid, though. The only thing that's not valid is that XRP technically isn't centralized. People will still argue till the end of the earth that it is, but technically, I think once it's doing its thing, you'll see that it's not.
People that is say true. That. Initially, I was saying it was because it was owned by Ripple, but then Mark decided to correct me on it and supplied me with the proof that there are, in fact, other validating nodes out there on the Ripple chain, or on the XRP chain, I should say, that are not owned by Ripple at all. So the minute that I saw that, that immediately brings in the fact that it is decentralized, because those validating nodes are not controlled by Ripple.
Yeah.
Even though Ripple looks after the code, those validating nodes could theoretically run without the rest of the Ripple service.
I'm pretty sure all the code's open source too. I'm pretty sure if you look that part up, I'm pretty sure you'll see it's actually open source. And it's anybody can add to it. It's just, once again, whether the majority of the engineers or the validators think that it's worth integrating, that has to happen. Everyone has to agree that, yes, we all agree that this is awesome and we're going to use it. Otherwise, it won't be used.
But doesn't Ripple also have its own blockchain? It's an internal blockchain that is only used by them.
There is, yeah, but anyone can create them. So yeah, they do have private blockchains where supposedly, I think they run test nets, and possibly have already people that maybe one of their signed 1,700 NDAs that they have, where they can't tell people what the deal is. It might be an institution that could be running their own blockchain in the background. But technically, anyone can do that. Anyone can run their own blockchain, side chain on the XRP blockchain, and just create it. If you could do it, Vince. I couldn't. There's no way in the world I could do that.
We have actually ran a blockchain here. Once upon a time, we were thinking about experimenting and setting up a blockchain, and it was Puncoin.
Puncoin.
And we had this whole marketing idea where that we would basically set up a blockchain, and as part of the marketing, it was all about puns or memes, right? And you would get paid on creating memes and pun coins, and we'd have all these memes would then get put onto T-shirts and jackets and all this sort of stuff, and start selling the jackets. So yeah, that was the idea of it. So we had a full working chain and everything. All right. But anyway, that was just a long time ago. Should have done it. You never know.
Yeah.
It would have been more viable than some of the meme coins out there. Let's put it that way. Okay. So this is XLM.
Interesting
for
chart.
those who are wondering.
It's an interesting chart, though. It's looking strong. I'd say that's looking strong.
Once again, remembering that blue line is the all-time high.
That's the very interesting thing for me in comparison to XRP. That 6 months ago when XRP blasted off, XLM followed it and did more. XRP did 500%. XRP did XRP did 500. XLM did 600% rise. And then though XLM retraced more than XRP did. It was very interesting to see, and also that it didn't go into a new all-time high, which means that in my books I'm expecting big things still to come from XLM, though it seems to have given some kind of momentum back to XRP in the market, like in a market sense.
There we go. 513% to there from that growth period.
Oh, there you go. Sorry, it depends where we measure from. I probably went right from the bottom to the. I probably went around there. Yeah.
Hang on.
To do the whole move kind of thing. And we'll see. We might see 600 if you do that, but yeah, they were around 100% difference. Ish.
Right. So from there. Well, come on.
Because I remember sitting there going, geez, I wish I didn't sell my XLM in XRP because it was pumping. But it all worked out pretty well. Yeah, you're looking at it's a pretty strong chart there.
Like that. So that was the jump at 745.
That's amazing, yeah. So
All right, now let's go and have a look at XRP. So from which bottom do you want to choose? From there?
Go. You'll have to go all the way back 6 months. So you'll have to zoom right out.
Oh, yeah, of course, because we're sorry, my bad.
The big move.
So
so you went from somewhere around there.
Okay, so we'll go from there to there.
Yeah.
829, Mark.
Oh, there you go. Oh, see, I'm just wrong. There you go. It depends where we measure from.
All right, if we go to this point here, which was following the XLM.
Yeah, it might have been there at the time. Yeah, that's probably what it would have been.
So
Since
that's
then, we've hit all time.
Yeah, so that's 630.
So you 100% difference.
All right. So
and XRP held it, that's the thing. If you can see where it is now in comparison to where it went, it's showing strength, a lot of strength. It hasn't closed daily candles above what is it, $2, $3 for years and years and years. When it first hit it back in 2017 and hit its all-time highs, it went straight up and came straight back down. Now we went up and we're showing a lot of strength. We're now forming a new base.
Went down through here. Now it's come back up and it's sitting here and it's holding well in this range.
Yeah.
So through here.
For me, it shows that the market knows what it is and where it might be going. And same kind of thing with XLM. It's the same. It's mirrors XRP. It's just, for me, it's very interesting to see this where they're starting to seemingly split apart. But that could be because some of the experts out there are saying that XRP is going to decouple not only from XLM, but from the market itself. It's going to decouple from Bitcoin, from everything, and it's just going to go. But
this is actually rather interesting. I'm just looking at this.
You're talking to an XRP fanboy, so I'm going to...
Yeah. Everybody knows you're XRP fan. So, but, right, just looking at this. This is XLM. And what are we seeing here?
A great buying opportunity. And a bull flag.
Yeah. That's what I'm seeing. That's exactly what I'm seeing. But which way is that going to go?
Yeah. It could punch straight through that bottom if they want to manipulate it, and we're on our way down. Though I'd expect to see a bounce from there. We're still in a bull market. We're not in a bear market. We're in a bull market. So momentum's on our side. Trend is our friend. All that kind of stuff. I reckon we'll bounce off that and go up, but we'll come back in a month and see if I was right.
All right, and of course, this is recorded for history, so
that's what I've thought that so many times. I've gone, oh man, at least we can go back and see what we said if we were right at all. I think I've definitely been wrong on a few occasions lately.
Sometimes I have to do that just to try and remember what I said. Yeah, it's definitely needed. But yeah, so I just thought I would show some of that in case people were wondering. We've got 11 viewers. Holy crap, we've just hit an all-time high. Sorry, couldn't resist.
Is that what an 8 o'clock start does for us?
I don't know. I have no idea. We've been chatting for 40 minutes already.
We're doing well. Breaking down charts.
Right. Not that either of us are charting geniuses. I mean, there's plenty of people. I get a lot of my information from the 3 or 4 presenters that run in Banter. Right. It's a good channel on YouTube. If you ever want to go check it out, they can get fairly complicated, but they also fairly smart on what's going on in various bits and pieces. So, yeah. So I just sort of do, and not that you can see it now, but I've taken it off. Actually, I might just put it back on for half a second and back to the stage. Here's another example. These are just some of the coins that I've been keeping an eye on. You can see how most of them are in the red, right, which I find rather interesting. And I should also point out This is my favorites list, and there's my Phoenix that's not doing so well at the moment. I'm down by $21. Thanks, XRP. Right, but it's interesting to note, out of all the ones that I'm following, all red except for a couple. Electronium, which I've been in since day dot when it first came back in 2017. Okay. I had quite a few coins which I ended up selling out, but I still have a bit there invested. Every time this market goes down, they seem to go the opposite direction. I don't know why. I mean, they're a long way down from the 2 cents they used to be, or the highest was like 15 cents when they first released. They're a long way down, but they're still active and probably worth checking out what they're about. One of the things is they're very much humanitarian because they actually provide banking services to the unbanked in Africa.
They see that's what cryptocurrency is about. That's
exactly.
Which
is why I wanted to bring that up. Right. Look for people that have got projects. If you're going to invest in something, look for people that have projects.
Yeah, right? I remember reading about Electronium many years ago. I was just invested in so many other coins already by the time I got to them that I was kind of like, oh, I can't just keep adding coins. But
probably
I was kind of like,
yeah. I went for a pretty downturn for quite a while. So yeah. I would say it would be a good thing that you didn't.
But yeah, their white paper or their theory behind what they're trying to do is really, really good. And I think if they can hold on or just keep kicking and working away, punching, kicking, screaming their way through, and get to the point where they can launch it or get it to the point where there's a lot of users in Africa. When we get to the new world of possibly let's say free internet, because Elon Musk decides to give everyone free internet with his satellites, which supposedly is coming. I don't know if it's going to come, but I've heard that was many years ago. We heard that that's going to be a feature of the future, is that Elon Musk's satellites aren't just Starlink's, not just for payment, but it's supposedly there to help free the world. And eventually, if you give Africa free internet and a bank account in their hand on their phone with Electronium or any other of the coins that work, it will soar. It's exactly what it's designed for. We've just got to get to those past these stepping stones, I think.
That's right. So Mr. Bill says, but then they were the first to go KYC. They were. Yes, indeed, because they are based out of Britain. And I don't think I need to say much more than that. Right?
Is he talking about Electronium?
Yes, he's talking about Electronium.
But...
Right. They were the first to start going KYC because they were making sure they stayed within the regulatory laws of Britain. And you can see how far Britain has gone as far as that's concerned. So, yes, they were, and that was a bit unfortunate, but they also have changed their whole blockchain model from what it used to be to now being more Ethereum-based and ability to do virtual machines and EVMs, etc. So there's been quite a bit of change. Now, I'm not saying that it's a great one to be rich on, but it looked like it was going to be for a while. Their white paper was really good. But we might find out some more. So apparently the long-standing Richard Ellis is going to make some sort of announcement sometime this week. So that'll be interesting to see if that pops up. And yes, I put up that thing about 96 million, and someone's corrected. It was 86 million people that were debanked over in Vietnam because they did not have a digital ID.
Mm.
Really? I mean, why? Yeah. Who controls what money? How you can't tell me this is not happening. And cryptocurrency is one of the things that is slowing it down, right? I've got to be careful about how I say that. because cryptocurrency is also this very thing that can tie you up, right? Anything, the perfect example was when someone said, I put my, I won't mention the actual model number, but I put my rifle out on the front porch along with 6 bullets, and it sat there all day, and the mailman went past, and the school children went past, and the whatever went past, and not one single person got shot from my gun. Right? Why? Because it's a tool. It's who's using it that is the culprit. Right? So cryptocurrency is a tool. Who uses it is the issue that you need to look at.
Yeah. It's like AI. People need to look at it like AI. Unfortunately, It's here to stay. You can't put the genie back in the box. It's they've figured all this stuff out, and they're going to use it. By the looks of it, though, it looks like we're going in the right direction with some of this stuff. There's an argument now that people are, and I think it's a fair argument. It'll show. We're going to need to see what happens in the future to really prove the argument. But people are saying that even though Trump said no CBDCs, stable coins can technically be used as CBDCs, which is true. So it's just a matter of whether they use it for good or use it for bad, just like AI. AI is going to be either used for good or it's going to be used for bad.
Is that your kid in the background choking on something?
He must be right at the door. He's got some lungs on him, hasn't he?
Yeah, indeed. So Crunchy 8 says, Vince, let's say you had 100K. Where would you put it and how much would in each coin as well? Well, personally, if I had 100K, I'd probably pay off my house. But hey, young'un, come on. Watch out. We might get done for child something or other here if you're not careful, Mark. I personally would be investing significant amount of that in precious metals, to be honest. Maybe 80% of it. That's where I would head with that at this stage of the game if you're looking for a long-term investment. And then the other 20 I would spread around various cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, probably XRP. Sol would be another one that I would choose. I think that's Solana's going to do quite well over the long period of time. Some of the top players, the blue chips and the cryptos is where I'd be looking. But looking at what projects they're doing, etc. That's what I would say. You want to add anything to that, Mark?
I didn't. Sorry, I only just sat down. I didn't catch exactly what you said.
I just said that I would be putting about 80% of. If I had 100K, I'd be putting about 80,000 into precious metals, and then maybe the other 20,000 I would spread around a few things like BTC, XRP, top level ones.
I'm much different to you. For me, myself, my portfolio is let's say 75% crypto, nearly 80, probably 80% crypto. Might even be a bit more. I'd have to do my maths. Oh no, it could even be. I reckon I'm 90% crypto, 10%, just because of the rise that we've had with XRP.
Right, he's changed the conditions. He's changed the conditions. 100K only for coins.
Only for crypto. That's easy. Well, XRP, I buy as much XRP as you could possibly fit in your hands and carry out the door, which is funny because you'll be sitting at your computer doing it, so you're not going anywhere. Otherwise, XLM, HBAR, and what's the other one we always talk about, Vince?
Oh, there's a few, but XLM, HBAR, Sol was the other one I mentioned.
Yeah. I'd go as much. So that's for me. XLM under $1 Australian is still a great buy. You can buy a hell of a lot of XLM under $1. You can go up into your thousands and still have a lot of money. But otherwise, give me.
Yeah, you're right. So some of the others that are in there, like Doge, the famous meme coin that's been around for ages, Sui. Litecoin doesn't tend to do much, but it does move. It is a stable coin. So you got to look at investing in something that is not going to disappear off the black market. I mean, you can take a small amount of your coin and invest in something like hat with dog or dog with hat or whatever it is, dog with hat. Some of those sort of things, but I would try and keep the majority of it in top tier blue cryptos, right? And as much as Mark hates Bitcoin, I would also suggest Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Because it is the gold of that. It's not specifically used for shopping or anything, but it's like the bank. Effectively, it's like the bank.
So okay. I follow a guy who has been in crypto probably a couple of years longer than I have, and I've been in since 2015, 2016 ish. And he was an ex-financial advisor, and it's an American guy he's like a proper ex-financial advisor from Morgan Stanley. He's involved heavily in the crypto scene over in America, organizing different days and whatnot for information days and stuff, so people can find out what's going on with XRP and other coins. Though he was using his retirement funds, what do they call it, a 401k over in America. He was using all that money, dumping it into Bitcoin and XRP for many, many years. And over the last year, he's announced many, many times that he's got completely out of Bitcoin and is all in XRP. And I was kind of floored, just because I was like, wow, he's probably sold $300,000 worth of Bitcoin, possibly more, and dumped it all into XRP. And because he's like, I've done my research, I know where this is going, and he thinks there's the 4 Satoshis with Bitcoin and all that. He thinks that it's a scam, he thinks the government owns it. Maybe then it's not a scam, but he thinks that they might let it live, but he thinks that the government started it. And he's very much sold on XRP. And that's where I'm kind of, if you're doing your research and you've got your conviction on some of these coins, you'll have amazing confidence in what you're doing. But yeah,
so Mr. Bill here is dobbing himself in. Sorry about that, Mr. Bill. I was a financial advisor people every day in 1989. And yeah, you weren't wrong, right? And it wasn't that you didn't know any better, probably. You were just making a living like you were. I mean, I was one of those that was advised into doing this, that, and whatever else, and put it in here for my super. And over a period of time, I would just watch that go backwards until I had 0 from fees and royalties that were going to everybody in the financial group. So, yeah. So, no, mate, we won't hold that against you, but it does mean that you've been in the financial game for a while. So you do have a fairly good understanding of how things work. So that's an advantage to you, I would say.
Yeah.
All right.
My stepfather was a financial advisor.
Once again, we're getting close to 55 minutes when you and I get together, and we only ever do it once a week, and we don't communicate any other time. We managed to gas bag through an hour without any challenge at all.
You kill it.
You didn't even get to put anything up on screen this time, Mark. So
no, I haven't even got to coin toss news. We haven't even got to coin toss news, Vince. Might have to save it.
Well, maybe you can hang on to that because you're going to need every scrap of it for next week.
Yeah. Yeah, why not? We could do that.
Right. And besides, what might be news today will probably be rebunked by tomorrow. So, but yeah. Anyway, so with that, I want to raise the point, right, that everybody should still remember. Up in the top corner, we have Charlie Kirk. Right. That man was one of the saint. You'd have to call him. I don't know. His patience is much better than mine, I have to tell you. Some of those lefties, but even still, right, what he brought out and what people are saying about him, be careful. If you think you're seeing parts that prove that he's racist and this and that, watch the whole damn clip and you'll soon find out he was nothing like that at all. But what I do say is, if you're in the fight for freedom, it's time to start stepping forward. Be proactive instead of sitting back and being good people and letting the lefties get the way. Now, that doesn't mean you go and smack them in the side of the face. Tempting, I know, but no. It just means that when they say something, just say, no, don't agree with that. This is the way it works, right? And try and do that. So I'm just doing my I am Charlie bit for this part of the show. So I am Charlie, right? Be proactive. Go out there, have a few words. And remember Charlie Kirk, watch his stuff, become educated, right? I think that is a huge turning point. So that's my part from there. Secondly, we have a lottery. Oh, funny about that. Right, we keep forgetting to promote the lottery. Right, in support of the donkeys over there in New South Wales, Sandy and her donkeys, and Voice of Freedom, which is Voice of Freedom is not actually officially associated with Freedom Broadcasting Network. It stands on its own. But Carl, being one of the members of Freedom Broadcasting Network, and I being another one of the members of that, we do sort of cross-promote each other a little bit. So that's how that works, in case people are wondering. So please, because it's going to a really good cause, the Donkey Sanctuary, and they need every cent they get. They've got like about 105 something donkeys there now they're feeding. Can you imagine feeding 105 donkeys? Wow, man. All right, and you never want to upset a donkey. That I tell you that now. That can be interesting. But please, for $2, your chance to win $750 worth. You'll also get a chance to, if I can do it, get one of these that I haven't hand painted yet. Right, that can have 10 silver bobs in it, Byron bobs, worth 1 ounce of silver as a second prize. So that's coming as well. So please shoot over. You'll find a link in the bottom of our bio here to the merch store. And also, if you're interested in purchasing cryptos on Australian exchanges that are validated by Australia tax department, so they're all legit, you're not going to be doing anything wrong, right? By all means, please go ahead and choose one of the links down below, either for myself or for Mark. Join up there. And of course, I will be honest, if you do that, we'll get a little bit of crypto.
Yeah.
And I do mean a little bit of crypto.
really, really small.
Please feel free to do that. We appreciate all the help and whatever. I mean, that's not going to stop us from coming and talking on this thing, right? Because I'm a gas bag by default. So
no, I've given those links to my mum and my sister, and then when they bought cryptocurrency, I was like, "Where's my free money? Where's my free money?" And they went, "Oh, sorry, I forgot to use the link."
Yeah, I've had a couple of those. I've signed 2 or 3 people up to buy crypto and didn't get the link.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, give me my $2 of crypto or whatever it is that I get for free.
All right. So with that, do you have any parting words of wisdom, Mark?
Oh, geez, you give. I need to come up with something, don't I? Buy the dip. Buy the dips. That's probably my. That's probably my word of wisdom at the moment. Buy the dip. Don't believe half of what you see and nothing of what you hear. That kind of stuff. We're in psyop season, people. So don't believe anything and buy the dip. Other than that,
so when people are fearful, it's a good time to buy.
Yeah.
Where are they now? All right. Is the market going to go back up? Most likely. Could we be heading into another winter? Also quite probable. But even if we do, right, if you're buying on the way down, at least your cost averaging in for the next cycle when it comes up, which might be 4 years away. But still, buy the dip. Yeah. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right.
And so maybe wait on silver.
Remove that off of there. put us back up into full screen. And from that, it will say goodbye from Mark.
And a goodbye from Vince.
Thank you. He's learning well. All right, just drop that in there. And for all of you out there, invest wisely. All right. Keep your prayers up and have faith. Have faith that you know what you're doing. Have faith in the good Lord and go out there and be successful. So from us here at Coin Toss, remembering that next week it will be a Mark-only show most likely, unless I actually make it back from Adelaide without killing anybody. All right, touch wood. And hopefully the week after that, I'll get to see you. But next week, we'll train Mark up and we'll let him do a solo act. So from all of us here at Coin Toss, we're going to wave goodbye. Say goodbye.
Strap yourself in, people.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting year. Cheers.